the final part of my first season concept of Marvel Rivals titled Might of Avalon. So we went over skins and the two characters added with Nightcrawler and Captain Britain along with the battle pass. So now, we're going over maps and voice lines. So map wise, they could take the Twilight Citadel. That's where like the boss of Otherworld lies. Essentially the big boss lady, which is the nexus point for all these universes. They could easily make that a domination map, and then Avalon itself. They could have you transporting like an elf or some royalty or something as the payload for a convoy map. They could also kind of do like Krakoa or Rocco, where they both got multiple maps, because Otherworld and Avalon kind of has a lot going on. They could give like both Otherworld and Avalon themselves a domination and a convoy map, since Avalon is just a sector in Otherworld, because other places like Morocco was originally in Otherworld before it got moved and lower and stuff. So that's an easy bucket for maps. And then voice lines. You obviously need some Nightcrawler voice lines with Rogue, which that's his sister. Even though they don't have too much of a relationship compared to other people. Obviously, you need Nightcrawler relationships with like Wolverine, voice lines with Wolverine, because Wolverine is like Nightcrawler's best friend in comic wise. That's his best pal in the X-Men. And then Captain Britain himself. It's a little obviously he needs voice lines with Nightcrawler, but he's a little more limited in who he can talk to, since he hasn't been around as many. He can have voice lines with Gambit though, because he knows Gambit was on Excalibur during Krakoa and whatnot. That's when Brian himself became Captain Avalon. They could also make voice lines about Captain Britain's wife Megan, because everyone got scattered. Maybe they can make it so Megan's got scattered too and she's lost to him. Maybe she can come later, because Megan's a fairly niche character that I like in Rivals. Like they can add Megan and Kitty. They can do the whole OG Excalibur, except Rachel. We can do without her. But yeah, something like Captain Britain talking to Gambit about Gambit telling them maybe Gambit's like, oh yeah, you got yourself a good wife there, and he's like, yeah, Nightcrawler, he helped me find her. He helped me not lose her, because could have lost her without him. And Gambit can say something slick like, yeah, that elf, he's the most charming X-Men I know. After me, of course. Seems very in line for Gambit to say. But yeah, because Nightcrawler, they can give a whole lot of dialogue. Captain Britain could have dialogues though, like Spider-Man, because Captain Britain did some training with Spider-Man. Hell, at Captain Britain's wedding, this bastard Spider-Man called asking for money. Like Spider-Man left a voice message. He congratulated him on his money. I mean, on his wedding, and then he said, "P.S. Don't think I forgot about that month's worth of rent you owe me from college dorm room." So Brian, I feel like Brian and Spidey need some dialogue, because imagine that in game.